So, two adoptive fathers were stabbed by their adoptive son. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as an ID Go app. You might want to get those two things combined to make them into one, and I'm a Discovery influencer. So, was the stabbing of two adoptive fathers a hate crime in which was committed by their adoptive son? That stands the question. Why would a adoptive son stab his two adoptive fathers? 23-year-old, he stabbed his adoptive fathers while on break from college. An argument sparked the stabbing. The son was sentenced to 15 years in prison. During the attack, he stabbed one of his fathers in the neck, in the arms, in the face, and in the ears, right? He then went on to stab his other father in the very same way when the father tried to intervene. I'm asking if it were a hate crime, because consider, to say two adoptive fathers is to say two gay fathers, right? Gay fathers. Not all children believe in that sort of thing. Because to argue and it leads to a stabbing is that question, well, what was the argument about? What it pertained to? And not only that, why was he there staying at their place of residence at the age of 23 during a college break? Because to be 23 is to have the funds to be able to stay at a hotel or somewhere if it was such a issue between having two fathers and, say, miscommunication arguments that leads to a stabbing, right? That's the question. Even the 23-year-old, his intentions of wanting to stay at the residence to begin with while on college break. Yes, it saves you money, but if you don't really get along with them all like that's to say he didn't, in a sense, because to stab one and to stab the other shows even his relationship pertaining to how he felt about both of them. One gets stabbed by you, being the son, and then the other father tries to intervene and then you stab him, shows just what you feel about the both of them, right? So once again, maybe he should have stayed at a hotel, right? Maybe he tried to cut down on the funds by, maybe more likely they had him stay with them, right? But it's something wrong with the relationship. It is. Because even the public will look into that and say, well, that could be a hate crime or something. Because if he was on good terms, best relationship with them, he would have stabbed one of the fathers and not the other, with the other father intervening. So that's to say something was wrong with the relationship, right? What could have been so bad? Because it wasn't stated fully in detail why he stabbed them, right? Why would you stab one father and then another intervenes and then you stab him too? Sometimes when people get mad, right, it's been known that people have been hurt and even killed in intervening in fights, or say somebody being combative, right? People have been known to be hurt in that, because to know that a person is stabbing somebody is to say they're not in their right mind to begin with, right? Usually you don't want to intervene with that. He may or may not have had a good relationship with the second father, which could have led to him stabbing the second father, right? You never know. He might have been on good terms. He might have not been in his right mind while he was stabbing the first father. But it's still something wrong with that. Because you don't want to be blacking out so much if that was a situation, and stabbing a father that you don't notice that the second father is trying to protect both of y'all and not just the other father. Oftentimes, when people intervene, they're intervening not only on, say, the other father, preventing them from being killed, but trying to intervene you from hurting yourself as well, right? As in, the good intentions on the second father was there. Because if that second, if the second adoptive father wouldn't have intervened, this 23-year-old more likely would have killed that first father. So the first adoptive father would have been killed, and that adoptive son would have went to jail. That's why people sometimes intervene in the caring aspect. They look into the whole situation and not just, I'm saying as another adoptive father, not just say, well, let me prevent, because he, knowing that's his partner, he's going to want to save his life anyway. As in, he would have even intervened even if that wasn't a son. Even if it was somebody just random off the street, he still would have intervened, right? And yet, if he wouldn't have, yeah, that 23-year-old, he's already going to sit in jail as, yeah, 15 years, but he would have been serving more years, as in a life sentence. 15 years, that, yeah. 15 years is good enough for even him. Because that's too much is to ask what mental illness stands behind that, and if it's not, what other issues. Yeah, that's too much. So we're on investigationdiscovery.com. The ID logo stands in the far left corner. Live now. Fear thy neighbor. He's going to be forced to sit in jail and think it through, as in, was it really worth it? And more than likely, it's going to be his adoptive parents, his adoptive father, sending him money for commissary and all the rest. Trust and believe. New episodes. To gain access is to click right here. Provide who you're subscribed to gain access to that. Because to know that the adoptive fathers of his had him staying with them during his college break, is to say more likely they are still going to be the ones that send him money and stuff while he's in jail serving 15 years for commissary and everything else that he needs. Trust and believe that. Because some parents are forgiving more than others. More than likely they are not going to allow him to just, because if he had anger issues from the beginning and they knew about it, or if they felt that he could be the type of snap or something, they more than likely knew that, as in they probably sensed that even that was coming or something, right? As even adoptive parents know that, studying their child's behavior enough to see what could possibly go wrong, because that probably was not the first time that even he did that, as in charging up on an adoptive parent with a weapon or something, or just threats or something, right? Unlocked episodes. To receive an audio visual preview is a click the play button, and you would in fact receive that. Recommended for you. Shouts out to Lieutenant Jokinda as well as Paula. As in, things just don't happen. Something made that happen. Pulling out the knife like that. ID Go original series. And it pinpoints more to their relationship more than just something outside setting him off. As in, I don't think it was an outside situation making his anger build up enough to stab the father like that and then stab the other one. I think he possibly had some anger issues or something and had relationship issues, and I stated that pertaining to them, as in not liking one of the fathers or something. as in a dislike to take it that far to bring out a knife with that. Because some people have anger issues and carry it into, say, the situation that they're in, right? They'll have an anger issue and then they'll carry it home or carry it to their adoptive parents' home and then get to pulling out knives. And I don't think that was a situation. I think it's relationship issues with that. To receive a newsletter is to type your email address in and click next, and you would in fact receive a newsletter from Investigation Discovery. So dear viewers, let me know what you think and feel about this video. May you enjoy your day, and I will in fact enjoy mine.